Today, we are looking at some images that were taken on the Google 7 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. There are different things about these devices. However, in some cases, they behave exactly the same way. In other cases, totally different. Which one's better? Which one is worse? Which one is for you? Stick around and find out. So what we have is we're looking at the iPhone on the left and the Pixel on the right. And it says forever. It was in a lobby at this super cool hotel I was staying at in Hollywood. And I had some business that was going on there. So I was having a lot of fun. And I saw this and I took a picture. I was like, wow, right? Super cool photo. Let me take it. Then I get it up on my computer and I look at the differences and I'm blown away at how different these images are. Now, am I blown away because one's better and one is worse than the other one? Nope, that's not it. I am blown away because they're just so different. One is not right, one is not wrong. Both are different. So what we're looking at, iPhone on the left, Pixel on the right. The iPhone clearly is a little bit more exposed, right? Versus the Pixel. Is the Pixel a little underexposed or is it a little bit more natural for what we're looking at? Well, as we progress and we look through the rest of the photos, we're gonna start to see a pattern, right? The iPhone in this one appears to be a little bit more brighter, where the Pixel a little bit more darker. Let's zoom in on his face a little bit and see which one has more detail, which one has been more, in just zooming in a little bit more. I think I want to go ahead and say that it looks like on this one, the Pixel definitely gave me more details once I zoomed in. Looked really, really good. It's almost like I can see and count the fibers on the do-rag right there, the bandana. It's incredible. They look really good on both. They really, really do. If I have to pick one and look at one for the rest of my life, which one do I want to look at? Which one do I prefer? That's the question. It's up to you. Which one do you want to look at? Which one is for you? Took a photo of my friend Wayne. He was hanging out in the lobby, chilling, checking his Instagram, swiping, tapping, all that other fun stuff. But let's go ahead and look past Wayne. Right on the wall in this hotel, in this lobby, which was super cool, there's NFTs all over the place and they're on display. So let's go ahead and zoom in on the NFT on the iPhone right there, and just take a look at it. And there it is. So let's go ahead and look at the Pixel now and see, wow, the Pixel hands down is cooler, not as brighter, but has a lot more detail. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more on each one. And we can see that the detail on the Pixel, way better. Better or worse? I don't know. I think I'm actually going to say it's way better. Overall, right? The iPhone appears to be more appealing to me in this scenario, whereas the Pixel is a little bit cooler, looks more natural, not as enhanced, right? So then we go and we zoom in and we take advantage of those details. So the difference, so we've got on the Pixel, we've got the 50 megapixel, then we have a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and then the 48 megapixel telephoto. And then on the iPhone, we have the 48 megapixel main, and then we've got a 12 ultra wide, and then a 12 telephoto, which also has some optical image stabilization and enhancements in it as well. So let's go ahead and look at the next photo. This is an ugly photo. We're gonna look at it just because I took it. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the iPhone on the left, the Pixel on the right. And I just wanna go ahead and zoom in on this rooster's head. This was wonderful little head, because I just told you in the last comparison, the last photo, that I felt the Pixel had more detail in a cooler environment. And now we're looking at the iPhone versus the Pixel now. And I'm going to tell you, I'm having a really hard time saying which one has more detail. I think that the iPhone kept the color really, really good and kept it darker. The Pixel actually brightened the color of the red a little bit, but in doing so, perhaps maybe a suggestion, it could have lost some detail. This is what I'm thinking. I'm not saying it was. Don't be mad at me. Hashtag Team Pixel, get from Google. Don't cut me out. But I think that there's some room for improvement there, because the iPhone, I think, still took the cake on this one. However, if we want to back it up and look at the photo in its entirety and say, hey, which one of these is better? Which one looks good? I think hands down, the Pixel is a better looking photo. You know, like what we're doing is we're nitpicking and we're zooming in on stuff and we're just trying to create things to complain about so we can make a video. What we're looking at here is Bobblehead Steve and Little Android Buddy. These are my friends. I always got an iPhone and an Android with me. So Android Buddy, he's super cool, super chill, dapper Android dude. Bobblehead Steve Jobs. Had him made as a special order, so don't think you can find another one of him somewhere. I had him made special for the channel. He's super cool. I really like him. He's a lot of fun. Bobblehead Steve. Let's go ahead and look at him. Let's zoom in. iPhone on the left, Pixel on the right, and let's zoom in on Bobblehead Steve. Now, one thing I want to talk about, this is not a portrait shot. This is just a regular photo being taken through both of these cameras. These cameras, these itty bitty little lenses that are now acting like and mimicking the bokeh effects of a big camera, right? So like, it's crazy because we don't even have the portrait activated, but because we've got all these different lenses and LiDARs and stuff, like it can act and operate like a big camera, like my Sony's. Like, sorry, it can operate just like that camera. It can do a lot of cool things, and this is an example of it. So let's go ahead and zoom in and look at Steve, and let's see the detail, which was preserved better. Let's go ahead and look at his dark little, his little white patch right there. That's really his white patch. That's it. And if we want to go ahead and look and see which one maintained the detail better. And I think in this instance, on the white patch, it's really hard to say. I don't know. Maybe it's not a good comparison. But if we want to go ahead and zoom in on Steve's face and look and see, it's like, wow, I actually think the iPhone did a better job at keeping the details. And the Pixel overall, for myself, is a better photo because I feel that it's more natural. Right, I feel the iPhone is definitely more enhanced, and I know that's silly to say because like before I think it was different. I think the iPhone was more natural and the Pixels used to be more enhanced, and now it seems to be going the other way, right? And let's go ahead and look at little Android Buddy. So look at Android Dude, and let's look at his head. And you can see what I see. You can see I broke his antenna. Well, it fell off. He fell, and his antenna broke. And we can zoom in on that. And we can see the detail of both of them. Now, in this instance, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to call it. The Pixel is maintaining way more clear, defined detail, whereas the iPhone, there's a little blur to it, right? There's a little blur. So I think the Pixel did a better job of being like, okay, we're going to act like a big boy camera. We're going to create this natural depth to field bokeh effect. So our subjects pop a little bit more because that's what we want, right? But they both did that, but the Pixel did it better, right? And that's what I like, is it did it better. So again, which one do you like? Which one do you prefer? It's up to you. Both are really, really good photos. The grass in the iPhone is definitely more saturated and green, whereas the grass in the Pixel is way darker. Now, the other thing I will say again, background detail. Let's look at the background detail of the iPhone and then the background detail of the Pixel. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the palm tree and see what that looks like. And I will say the Pixel maintains the detail of the background image a lot better than the iPhone. The iPhone is like, we're going to blur you out and we have no reason to maintain any detail, so it doesn't matter. but I do think it does matter. I think it creates more of a natural, better looking photo. Overall, I think the comparison of the two, the Pixel gave me a more natural looking photo, whereas the iPhone processed it. Still, lovely photo, not complaining about it. It's just different, right? We got the iPhone on the left and we have the Pixel on the right. Two very, very different colors. If we're gonna go ahead and zoom in, and this is a great one to zoom in on because there's so much going on in the middle of these flowers. I will have to say it looks like the color on the iPhone is really, really nice. The Pixel is good too. But I think I prefer the iPhone color in this picture for the moment. I reserve my option to change my opinion later. And I also want to say the iPhone holds more detail when you zoom in on the flowers. So that's surprising. Again, not taking a portrait here, but it activated and gave me that bokeh effect. So let's go ahead and look at the other one. So this is a close-up, different angle of the flower. So this time I have my color is a lot closer, whereas last time the color was so drastic. They're very, very similar. It did a much better job in interpreting it correctly. We have the iPhone this time, which is a little bit darker, whereas the Pixel is a little bit brighter. Now looking at it, they both gave us the bokeh type of effect again. And let's go ahead and zoom in on that and see which one looks like is giving us more detail. And I'm gonna have to call it and say the iPhone is definitely giving us more details again. So go ahead and look at that. All right, here is a night test. We have the iPhone on the left and the Pixel on the right. This is just a photo being taken right here. And this is what it looks like. This is what the iPhone's given us. The iPhone really brightens up those nighttime photos. They really do. Now here we have with actual nighttime activated, and you can see the iPhone looks pretty much the same from the photo before, whereas the Pixel drastically different, right? So let's go ahead and let's just look at those again. Put the two Pixel ones up. No night mode, taken from the same exact location. So big difference there. Let's go ahead and we take a look at the lifeguard bench. So the first photo here taken, we have iPhone on the left, Pixel on the right. This is nighttime again activated. This is what it's given us. This is the life bench. And now I did a little bit in reverse this time. This is no nighttime activated. And we go ahead and we can see drastic difference with the Pixel. And now let's look at the iPhone compared to the iPhone with and without night mode. Not really much of a difference, right? Whereas the Pixel really steps up the processing of that nighttime image. Really does. I want to talk about the detail of the trees. You see the palm trees in the back there? Let's just zoom in on the Pixel and let's look at those palm trees right there. And now let's go ahead and zoom in on the iPhone and let's look at the detail of those palm trees. Now I will say the Pixel, you can only get so far on the zoom, right? Let's go ahead and zoom in. So it looks, actually it looks like the Pixel is letting me zoom in a lot more than on the iPhone. Wow, okay, I take that back, never mind. Let's go ahead and zoom out so we can actually get some clarity on it. So even though we can zoom in more on the Pixel, when we look at the details of it, I think the color and the detail in the iPhone are better.
And here is a video of what the actual scene looks like. So in comparison, you can see that even in video, the iPhone brings out those whites a lot brighter, whereas the Pixel 7 Pro is more of a cooler of an image, which I feel is an actual representation of what I'm seeing with my own eyeballs right now.
And that's all that we have for today, but go ahead and subscribe to the channel for part 2 of the iPhone 14 Pro Max versus the Pixel 7 Pro. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching the video. head down to the comment. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Give me a thumbs down twice if you didn't like the video. Till next time, for the love of tech, namaste.